Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Brianne Beebe. I'm a high school math teacher. I'm starting my 7th year this school year, and today I'm setting up my teacher planner. So I have two planners that I use just to kind of keep track of tasks that I need to do. This planner though that I'm talking about today is specifically for lesson planning. So the planner that I use is one that I basically make and put together myself using the ARC notebook system from Staples. So this is a bit of an investment up front because I needed the hole punch, which was like $50. I got the metal discs because they are so much easier to turn the pages with. I also had to buy thicker paper. So when I print out whatever I'm using, I don't use regular computer paper. I actually go like a step up and get something a little bit thicker so it lasts longer in here. So there's cost associated with this, but a lot of those were like one-time purchases. Like I got a thing of 500 sheets of paper. I'm not even close to putting a dent in that yet. Compared to some of the other planners out there, it's kind of comparable depending on what kind of planners you're looking at. There are so many cute teacher planners on the market available today, but a lot of them are just so geared toward elementary teachers that it just doesn't work for me. Like, I don't need to write down all my students' birthdays, and there's 100 students. That's a lot. And then they'll have spaces for class rosters, and I have a minimum of 5, and I don't need the class rosters in my planner anyway. So basically, having the ARC notebook system makes it so I can put everything that I need in here, nothing extra that I don't, and I have all of my lesson planning materials put together in one book. It makes it so much easier. So here's a quick overview of how I'm setting up my planner for this year. I have a new setup for the camera and I cannot get the whole thing in the frame, which is really annoying, but just making do with what I have going on. So I have a folder first, and then my first section is plans and ideas. So the dividers I made by laminating a sheet of cardstock, and I just put the cardstock all the way to the right edge and all the way to the bottom so that I have a tab that sticks up top, and I hole punched over here on the side. So my dividers actually stick up over the notebook a little bit. So I'll have another folder in here. The first page I took out, it's actually my school district calendar. This is stuff from my district that they want us to use when we plan our lessons. And the first thing that I'm going to add to this is my modifications and accommodations forms for students with IEPs and 504s. So this is just a way for me to see what my students need at a glance. I am a general ed certified teacher. I'm not special ed, so this is very helpful to me to understand what they're doing. This is available in my TPT store, both in printable and editable formats. After that, I have some blank pages of notebook paper, and this is my plans and ideas section, so I just like to keep some blank paper in there. The last section in my book is the professional development section, so I'm just going to add that divider in now. Everything else I pre-printed and hole punched, so it's all ready to go. So my first section would be for geometry. And the first thing that I have in there is a folder pocket. So this is something that I need for geometry planning for the future, so I'm just going to put that in here. They're changing our standards again in New York State. Well, sort of. The next things that I have to add are sheet protectors. So I have one that's to copy, one that's to do, and one that's to file. So these will go in there next. So next page will be my geometry long-term planner. I have space for all 10 units, and what I do with this is jot down any ideas that I have for units that I haven't taught yet. So if I have an idea for unit 10 and I'm still in unit 1, I'm gonna add just the note right here so that when I go to plan for unit 10, I know to incorporate that idea. Next is probably the most important part. This is my planning calendar. This is available in my Teachers Pay Teachers store for free. So I went through already and basically crossed out any days that I won't be teaching. So all the days off I crossed out. I did it in pencil this year because last year I did it in pen, and we lost a couple of days because we went over on snow days. So I have the whole calendar here and I just paper clip it so it stays together. Next is my pacing guide. This is also available in my TPT store. both printable and editable versions. What I've done here is I've actually already edited this one. I have my title here, I put in all the dates, and then I grayed out any day that we are supposed to have off. So that's all here, front and back for the whole year. Okay, so next is what I refer to as a day by day. So I have my units. So my first unit for geometry is Intro to Geometry, and then I have all my days broken down and what I have for those days. So when I teach angles and triangles, I have notes, I have an exit ticket, and I have homework. And if I have an activity, like here I have a discovery activity for parallel lines, I add that in here. So I can see at a glance everything that I have available for the different topics I teach and what order I plan to teach them in, which activities I plan to use on which day. For example, because parallel lines, I teach over 3 days. So I have that for all 10 units. I've also paper clipped that section together just to keep it together in my planner. Last but not least, I have my scope and sequence for geometry. This I've created and developed over the past few years. So I actually put these up for free on my blog every year. I have not gotten around to posting this one yet. I hope to before school starts, but this basically is another guide on what I teach, what my objectives are, my standards, etc. After the scope and sequence, I usually add a page of the blank notebook paper, and then I'll go on to my next sections. So I have an Algebra 2 section, and that's why I'm actually redoing my whole planner, because I have to incorporate Algebra 2 for the first time. And other than that, it's just going to repeat with my other courses. Everything for this video. If you have any questions, leave them in a comment down below, and remember, all the resources that I shared in this video are linked down below. And as always, thanks for watching.